Welcome back to NASCAR Heat 5, folks. We are about to start the new season for Xfinity. I talked about it all during our rookie season as we drove for Mike Harmon Racing. So the new season is underway. We're going to go over all the custom cars. There is literally one driver in the whole field that is not in a custom car out of all of the 36 cars, I believe. We only have one driver that is not in a custom car. So we're going to start. I don't actually know why, because normally it's in alphabetical order, but for some reason Matt Kenseth pops up first on this list. He's driving the DeWalt. He comes over from our truck series. He actually comes over from our Dirt to Daytona series as well. We were rivals there, and we may not be rivals in the Xfinity series yet. Maybe we won't be, who knows, but it always seems like we end up being rivals with him. Jumping over to Anthony Alfredo, he gets out of the 21 car, moves over to the 78 car. For those of you who are new to the channel, I put the 2023 roster in because when I started doing these paint schemes, which I've done everything on this completely myself, it takes so many hours upon hours. Just setting up the mods once I had the graphics done took 14 hours. So anyway, it is the 2023 rosters because the 2024 paint schemes and rosters weren't actually done when I started doing this. I'm not going back and doing them again. As I just explained, takes forever to do, and I need to start working on the Cup Series, which, to be honest with you, after what I just went through to put this together, I am not looking forward to either. Justin Allgaier is the only one on here that is running the same paint scheme, same car for 2023 that they did in the last season. Josh Berry moves into the 8 car over Daniel Hemrick. He's in the Tire Pros number 8 Chevy Camaro. You'll also notice that I have a template I made for their driver card, and so I went out and I got pictures of the drivers in their racing suits. Some of them look big, some are smaller than others, but they all fit in the square, so that's why it's not, this isn't my game, I just modded it in, make it as good as possible. Eliza Bethel from FTR, that's Frozen Toes Racing. She is a subscriber driver in the 24 Chevy Camaro. Taylor Carpenter running the number 95 Rusties. That's the classic paint scheme from, and I'll put a little screenshot of it up. That's obviously from the Cars movies. Michael Chavez brings over the number 04 from the Truck Series. Gave him a little bit of an update on that paint scheme from the Truck Series. Went from just the teal body to having that water effect body underneath the striping system. Cole Custer comes over in the 00, racing that Ford Mustang for the Haas CNC. Bryce Egan comes over, now running the DuPont 25. Made a little mixture of different paint schemes that they've had over the years and then changed up the colors for a nice effect, I feel. Jeffrey Earnhardt moves off the number 0 car, goes on over to, and I know he's not on Alpha Prime anymore, but he was on Alpha Prime in 2023, and we brought him over in the advanced material handling number 45. Dale Earnhardt Jr., I'm just a huge fan. Like him a lot. He runs, one race a year. I know he ran Bristol last year. We're bringing him back. Put him in full time. It'll be a lot of fun to see him on the track. Ryan Ellis running for Alpha Prime Racing in the number 43. So brought him in. Greg Galding, the Panini, I think that's a trading card thing. It says it on the hood. Anyway, brought that one in. Jeremiah Graham, if you recall at all, he had a white truck in the Truck Series, which was pretty basic. It was actually one of the first ones I ever did just to learn how to do it, and I never really updated the truck, so I made sure to put together something really exciting for him in the Xfinity series. I like it a lot. It's a custom striping scheme that I put together from some stuff that I had found, and I just kind of reimagined what I had seen onto an Xfinity car, along with upgrading his logo and stuff like that. So I really like this car. It looks good on the track as well. Justin Haley, he goes from the number 11 car to the number 10 car. And again, a lot of these drivers, the paint schemes are just the ones that I found that I liked the most, whether it be the striping, the color, just something unique rather than just their standard. So if it's not their standard paint job, it's my mod. Deal with it. Daniel Hemrick does replace Justin Haley in the number 11, and that's the South Point car. Austin Hill takes over the number 21 that Alfredo had, and obviously slaps on a new logo, new sponsor in Bennett, and that one is accurate. Well, most of them are accurate, just like this one is. Brandon Jones takes over for Noah Gragson in the number 9 Menards car. Speedy Jones had a pretty cool paint scheme in the truck series, and we went one step further, removing it from just being a purple to getting like a purple water drip, or almost like a dew, hence Mountain Dew Pitch Black. So I like this paint scheme. It stands out on the track, and it's pretty cool. Casey Kane switches from Red Bull to Quaker State as he moves into the Xfinity series and goes from the number 4 car or truck to the number 5 car. Max Cost moving from Zero Bar being his primary sponsor in the truck series to Saturday Night Racing League. This is his actual paint scheme from there. I tried to match it as well as possible. I had to hand draw. I hand draw all the lines, otherwise they don't turn out clear. Matt Malone, this was another big one. His paint scheme very, very similar to his truck paint scheme. Thankfully, I had drawn all these individual pieces on his truck, so I was able to move them over and not lose any of the quality by modifying them so they could fit on his car. Tommy Joe Martin's weird about this one. Not going to go into great detail, but basically the area where you can change the drivers for Tommy Joe Martin's doesn't exist, even though when I look farther into it in the files, it says it's pointing to the same file that all the other ones point to, their individual files. I couldn't change it. It was supposed to be, I don't remember who I put in the car, but it ended up that I couldn't change it, but I had already done the work on the car, so I just put Tommy Joe Martin's in his own car. He's the owner of Alpha Prime, so there he is, number 44 Alpha Prime car. Sam Mayer replaces Michael Annette in the number 1, and that primary sponsor is Jockey. It's a cool paint scheme. I picked it for that. It was challenging to make, and I like that very much. John Hunter Nemechek takes over the Mobile 1, normally the number 20 car, but I have a number 20 subscriber that I just kind of promised that I would stick his number, keep his number the same. And so John Hunter, he has run the number 23 in his career, so I just put that number on the car. And so basically it's the number 20 Mobile 1 with a 23 on it. Lance Nowick, I won't be mentioning him as one of the custom drivers going forward. We did last year, just like Matt Kenseth, but I now consider him and Matt Kenseth just to be drivers on the track, like many others. He came from Dirt to Daytona. He was one of our rivals as well, and I just wanted to continue his career going into Xfinity. He's got a really cool looking car here. I had a lot of fun making this one, so there he is. Gary Norton came from the classic camo with the Remington sponsor. Remington is still a secondary sponsor of his, as you see on the back of the car, but now he's got that orange, gray, black digital camo for Harley Davidson. Bernardo de Oliveira, he's got this is an actual paint scheme from a Brazilian driver, and so it's an older scheme, but turned out pretty nice on the Xfinity car. I like it a lot. I like the colors. I like when you have dark and then you have a really bright offsetting color. John used to run the City Chevrolet, but he does like Toyota, and I agree with him. There's no reason we couldn't make a modification to the City logo to take out the Chevy part of it and make it just City Racing. So that's what we did. Same paint schemes as were in Days of Thunder. Brendan Poole takes over the number 6 car. He comes in and just, again, another paint scheme I chose because I liked it. It was unique. It wasn't your standard paint scheme, and I think it looks pretty neat on the car. David Childhouse switches from Heartbeat Hot Sauce in his Truck Series truck over to Splash and Go Graphics for his Xfinity car. This is one of his real paint schemes that he has used in his iRacing leagues. And here we are on the number 33 WCW car. This is actually pretty much an exact replication of the number 25 Steve Grissom paint scheme from back in the day. So, looks pretty cool. Sammy Smith takes over for Riley Herbst in the number 18 car, and he's running the TMC sponsor. Love the colors. Black and orange are probably two of my favorite color combinations. Lane Tibergen. Sure, I butchered that. Unfortunately, I'll probably just refer to him as Lane because it's much easier for me to do. He wanted to work with John Deere or Tractor Supply. I said challenge accepted, and I made them both. And so we took the front of the car. Obviously, that's your John Deere. And then with the paint splash showing the other paint scheme underneath for Tractor Supply. I thought that was pretty cool. A lot of fun to make. And last but certainly not least, we have Ryan Truex coming in with the Toyota Genuine Accessories and Genuine Parts, number 19 Toyota Supra. So that's everybody. Next thing you're going to see, we're going to go ahead and start the rest of the season, get everything together. We'll take a look at our new paint scheme, our new number, and talk about getting started for the Daytona race. All right, taking a look at our car. As you knew, we signed up with Hunt Brothers Pizza. I think I talked about that in the final episode of the last season. We went ahead and changed up the number again, not just to 84, but the font. And so it looks pretty good, kind of give you an idea of how custom it is. See, I only made it for the number itself that I wanted, because it doesn't matter. We put together a, I think, was it Castrol GTX paint scheme with the Hunt Brothers. I thought it looked pretty great with the Hunt Brothers. Obviously modified the logo a bit for Hunt Brothers so that it fit on the side properly and it wasn't just some chunky piece on the rear fender. Lined it up on the hood, made it fun there. A lot of fun putting this together. Learned some more stuff about editing the custom paint schemes. As you can tell, at any given time I can make it do whatever it wants. We may very, very well run this scheme at some point. We do have that center stripe that I made just in case I want to do something with that. I think on the Castrol car it is a black stripe, but I decided to leave it white for now. And the nice thing, and the only reason why I do it this way, is so that I can, in fact, throughout the season, modify the color scheme if I want to. So there's our car. I'm not really sure about the color of the number. It was red. It looked terrible. I might thicken up the black lines and do it again, but I've worked so much on this crap recently that I just want to be done and start racing again. And speaking of racing, here we are, ready to go. I've put the work plan together. We don't have a great car, and the actual unfortunate thing is we really don't have a great car. We've got about a 75 average, just a little bit over 75 overall car for this race. The only good thing about it is we have the draft. So hopefully we'll be able to do some good stuff with the draft and, I don't know, not place really poorly. The settings for this one, remember, until we have a much better car, we'll be running it on hard AI difficulty, just like we did in the truck series, just so that we're at all competitive. If you've ever watched anyone run the low-end cars, you don't have the power. It doesn't matter how fast you can drive the car, how well you can hit your corners or anything. You can do it perfectly and you're still going to place in the end 36th place. It's just not worth it. So put it on hard. That'll at least have us up in there racing with everyone, hopefully. Race length 50%. But then, of course, we obviously put the 2 times wear on the tires and the fuel consumption to offset the 50% race. We have strict yellow and we have single stage racing with quick qualifying. We did it all last year, and I think it made for some excellent racing, have single stages. So that's the route that we're going. Next thing we got to do is we got to get out there, run this 60-lap race here at Daytona. It's a 2-stop race. I know that from last year, and should be a lot of fun. I'm really curious to see how this whole thing's going to pan out for us. Hopefully we're not in the back and just sucking wind, wishing that we could be up in the pack. Hopefully we're up in the pack, making moves and striving for, well, our goal is 4 top 25s out of 5 races, and this is an absolute excellent position for us to be in to get that 4 top 25. So, or to get the first of the 4 top 25s. It's also a big money race, and that big money can go into other updates for our vehicle. As you can see, we're just 80s now at best. I don't have the pit crew upgraded at all. Every upgrade is really expensive. And on top of that, my teammates, she's a 10, 8, I mean, I wasn't even able to really upgrade Lauren, and then Tammy is a 7. So we don't have all of the fully upgraded stuff yet, and we're going to struggle, and that's what you do when you start a new team. So we came into it with $1 million. We're completely flat broke. We got 2 cars. We got a short track car and a speedway car, and hopefully that's going to be enough to get us through to make enough money to do some good work here. But I've talked way too much, folks. It's time. So let me get out there, and I will see you at qualifying. Here we go, qualifying. A little bit of an overcast today so far. Expected to clear up. See some rain in the distance. All right, here we go. Coming up on lap number 1 of 2 through the trioval here. Gonna keep it down as low as possible. And if we mess up here, we have an opportunity to be a little more cautious on lap number 2. It's not too bad, though. I expect us to be way off the pace, but I'm doing the qualifying so we can see where everyone else qualified, to be honest. I don't think even with a fully upgraded car, I've ever not been off pace on the super speedway track. So, not to mention we're in a speedway car. We've gotten a 4-point penalty. Our car is, at most a 75.2 rating. First lap was a 49-second lap, almost flat. Not sure if I have the ability to even get it better than that, but with the draft, I know we can run much better, obviously, so we'll see. We'll have to see how high up we can get with the draft. I don't know if this remembers last year's numbers. No. Yeah, 45.904. That had to be in the draft, so obviously we have the ability to get up there and do some good work. For now, we just have to get through this part, and we'll be okay. Yeah, we run 12, 13 miles an hour faster in the draft than we are right now. So, gotten to 48s, that's all right, but it's still going to be last place, so that part's whatever. I guess we'll rely on people starting in the back, otherwise we will lose the draft. It's going to go very poorly for us. Top 5, Custer, Kenseth, Mayer, Haley, and Earnhardt. I do want to make a note. All AI drivers that are not subscriber drivers have been made equal. That will change. I will be doing basically some RNG stuff at the same point of the season that the regular subscriber drivers get to update their drivers. I'll be updating the other drivers as well. So we'll get a little bit of a difference, but right now it's anyone's possibility or anyone's opportunity to win this championship in those AI drivers. Getting into our custom drivers, our subscriber drivers, Michael Chavez, 19th, Bryce Egan, 20th, Parker Smith, 21st, Speedy Jones, 22nd, Gary Norton, 23rd, Eliza Bethel, 24th, Bernardo De Oliveira, 25th, Lane Tibergen, 26th, John Hunter Nemechek, 27th, David Schildhouse, 28th, Max Cost, 29th, Jeremiah Graham, 30th, Casey Kane, 31st, John Perez, 33rd, Taylor Carpenter, 34th, Matt Malone, 35th, and there we are in 36th place. Here we go with some pre-race information for you. Looks like Jeremiah Graham looks a bit slow today. Cole Custer is your pole winner. Good for them. And Matt Malone, who was right there with us, he failed pre-race inspection, and he goes to the back. All right, first race of the season. First race with all these new cars as well. We'll have to see how this one turns out. Of course, we have a goal of at least being good around these cars. We don't have any rivals right now, and I don't need to make that change just because of one race. So I'm really hoping that we're able to stay with the draft early on here, get in front of some of these cars, because the more cars we have behind us, the better chance we have of not losing the draft. Right now, we only have one car behind us. So not letting off the gas for Graham, who jumped down in front of us, which is fine. Slowed us up a bit. And here are my big concerns. I need them to slow up coming out of here. Look at that run that Carpenter gets. And I'm just hoping that around the corner we get back in the draft. Looks like we will. Lance Norrick goes high. I almost followed him just out of pure, just was watching him, and that was not great. Get right back up on Jeremiah Graham. Looks like it's interesting that, oh, I did come off the gas that time. I was going to say that's interesting that Perez kind of jumped out of line there, but for some reason he was able to hold the speed, which is annoying for me. They're all, I mean, they're all capable cars. That's the other thing. Everybody on this track is much better than us right now. So we've got our work cut out for us, but I'm not giving up. That's for sure. I'm going to ride Jeremiah Graham. Hopefully the bumps I'm giving him aren't causing issue. I mean, they're just little taps. I guess we'll have to see. We've got, 60 total laps in this race. There's no reason. I mean, I would like to get up to the front. The faster I get some cars behind me, the better off I am. But I'm also going to be as patient as possible and not force anything if it works out that way for me. Hopefully it does. Ooh, that wasn't good. That wasn't good at all. I had to come off the gas big time to avoid that one. I know it didn't probably look like anything, but coming off the gas all the way is a huge deal for my slow car. I need this draft, like almost like we have a damaged car right here. We're going to be able to get on the inside. And I do just a little bit. 3 wide, but you open the door just that little bit, I'm going to take it in this game. I get to that fender, gonna do what I have to do to get any positions possible without wrecking someone else, obviously. But if there's slight contact, there's slight contact. Had to come off the gas again. We had a nice run, but nowhere to go with it. See if I can get, on the inside of the lane. Nah, didn't get it. He's got way more speed than we do there. Bethel on our outside. We'll take that position again. Our goal is 25th place to be in line with our incentive bonus, which is right near $60,000. Running for Mike Harmon Racing last season, we at least had an average vehicle, so we were able to get up in there a lot, and we were able to do a lot of good work. Didn't have any wins. Came close on a road course, but sky's the limit with our own team and being able to upgrade our car and do more with it, so that's the goal. Certainly would like to grab up into Costs draft and get to the fender of Lane here, and we do. It's a big deal for me. He ran high, so we'll take that option, that opportunity. Move up into 26th. Might lose it here. He might have a pretty big run. I gotta figure that out. There's some kind of weird glitch in the game that just puts random colors on some of these rims. Cost has one wheel that's red on all of his, so I guess I'm not going to be able to fix that. I'm not. That's obviously not supposed to happen. And it's only during races, too. If you go in and you look at the paint schemes like I did, their wheels look just fine, so I don't know why that does that, but kind of annoying. Also, not sure this is where I want to be. I'm going to... Oh, I couldn't do it. I wasn't going to cut it. I mean, I cut him off, but I wasn't going to run down and hit him. Like, whoa, that was bad. I went to make that move, and we got so loose. That was terrifying. And we'll go again. There we go, back in the draft, feeling good. Catch back up to everyone. Get, I think it's 21 laps or 20 laps to the tank. So, barring cautions, We've got 2 pit stops that we're going to make under green flag conditions. And of course, I didn't practice those pit stops at all, so I'm going to have to be aware of it. I might have to... well, we're going to be in a group. I was thinking to myself, I hopefully will be able to go in and not be around anyone, but we're going to be around people, and they're able to pit so much faster than me. Like, my tires will be worn as soon as I get onto the apron off of 4, which is right here. I'm going to have to get hard on my brakes so that we can get down to speed for pit road. And they don't do it like that. They're able to get on their brakes way later, and that's not great for me. So we'll have to keep that in mind. I mean, we've got 13 laps left in the tank. We're barely into this race, but just all these thoughts have to go into my mind right now as we're sitting out here, hanging out behind Lane, back up in 25th place. I do not want to go high. We don't have the power in the car to run that high line. Oh boy, I got a huge run there. So as long as we get into the corner in the draft, we'll be good, and we did. That should pull us around. Oh, of course. Ellis pulls in front of Nemechek, and Nemechek gets off the gas. And that's going to stunt us a bit here.
Still there?
See here. Well, I can't really... Well, I'm doing it, so maybe I shouldn't have. I'm sure he's going to pass as soon as we get into this turn, and I'll pull right down... Yeah, right down behind him. Oh, he goes a bit high. Let's see if I can grab into Ryan Ellis. And we can. That moves us right. We're getting near the top 20. Scary close. Little bit at a time. As you can tell, it's obviously it's a whole thing for us to do that.
Careful, still there. All clear.
Doing all right. Got a huge run. Ellis goes to the middle. Hill stays low. And so we're able to get into his draft, and that's going to pull us up. And that is going to secure a top 20 positioning right now.
Stay on the bottom.
Little contact from Ellis.
You're clear.
Kind of slowed us down a little bit, but we're okay now. Is there somebody next to me? No. That was weird. It felt like I got hit from the side. Oh, wow, Hill. Looked like he was going to come down. He ended up staying up in that middle spot. That's going to get us right up behind Gary Norton. We got some of the custom drivers up here. Mid-pack or better. We'll roll with Norton right now. Get a nice run on this inside, actually, is there's Earnhardt Jr. up in 15th. Alfredo to our outside.
Stay on the bottom here.
Yeah, the inside's definitely moving along. I don't know how long before it stalls out. It looks like the leader went to the outside. I don't know if that just opened the door up for a new leader. And if they keep doing that, eventually we'll be up there, which would be kind of awesome. We're going to get on the inside of Norton here, though. Make it 3 wide into 1. It's a big track. We're fine. We're going to lose it all, though, in a second. Because if Chavez goes up into that middle lane, we're the one that's the odd one out now. And there's nothing I can do about it because Junior's there. Oh, they stayed high. Never mind. Oh, now he goes low. Now he goes high.
Careful, still there.
Ugh. Not having a car that's got enough power to just kind of make moves and make even mistakes sucks. Any kind of move I make, like I did before, thinking I got into a good position, ended up really going poorly because the whole group moved up and I was 3 wide, so I was the low man on the inside, or the alone one on the inside, I should say. That sucked. Cole Custer, Gary Norton really battling it out side by side. And we got Greg Gaulding in front of Gary Norton. That kind of slowed him up here, it looks like. Trying to give him a shove. We're going to find out after this race what kind of damage we did with personnel or with friendships. We should be all right. I feel like we should be all right.
Careful. Still there.
Oh, well, Norton opened that door. We got to the fender. Here comes the next spot. Junior's behind us, but he's running a really low line. It's not helping me much at all. We're getting a decent draft off of Gaulding. I don't know how this is going to pan out. We got to get all the way around him in the corner. Otherwise, we're going to be in trouble come exit. We're not getting a huge run here at all. Oh, there it is. Whoa, there it really is. I got to come off the gas. It happened so hard. Junior made it 3 wide behind us. So we're up now into 13th place. Slowly but surely, folks. 15 laps into the race. We've gotten a pretty nice... We've done a pretty nice job. This is a big money race. This could really help a season out for a team like us. We can get a high spot or even a top spot. We have an opportunity to put some good upgrades in the car. Is really the whole point. So Michael Chavez actually having a really good run too up here in the top 10. Got Brandon Jones coming up on our outside. But we got a nice run that kept us up here. I'm going to try to get on the inside of Chavez. See if I can run around him through the draft. There's a slight amount of contact. No big deal there.
Careful. Still there.
Oh, how lucky for us that Sam Mayer stayed down. Not that he had a choice. They're 3 wide in front of us, but we're 3 wide as well. So although we lost some of the momentum we had, we should be good going into the turn. Hoping. We're not really having a lot of fortune here, and it sucks. We got Junior behind us, but cars that are next to us are probably going to pass us. I guess it's all dependent on what happens when we get into the turn. We're going to get a good draft pull, or looks like we're getting a decent one now. Are we going to clear Chavez? Probably not, and if we don't, here comes the problem again. I can't go inside anymore, or outside anymore, so. And Junior got in behind Chavez, which is going to screw us over. Just like that, we were in 8th and now we're in 10th. That happened so quick with everyone. I don't have the drafting partners turned on. I didn't want... I feel like that really affects the relationship negatively more than anything, so I didn't turn it on. We're just running the race best that we can. Tommy Joe Martin's in front of us.
Careful. Still there.
Really just trying... There we go. I'm trying my best just to clear Michael Chavez. Wow, that was a way... I thought we had way more time to turn. I need to change that view. I've got the view up higher, and it's messing up my depth. I'm going to fix that in a second. There we go. This is my normal view, and I decided I was extending it out, and I'm hitting too many people because of it, I feel. We don't have the momentum, but I also didn't want to come off the gas, so.
Still there.
All right, what do we got left in the tank? 2 in the tank. Holy crap. That flew by. We're going to pay attention. Sure, we're going to have to pit this time around. So let me pay attention to that. Oh, I didn't realize that we were already there.
Stay low, stay low.
All right.
You gotta come and pit for gas.
Yeah, we're going to, man. We're going to. Was kind of waiting for that to turn to 1 lap to go, though.
Leaders coming to the pit.
Here we go.
That car in front of you is coming to the pit.
Nope, 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 nope. Holy crap.
Back it down,
Yeah, everyone's
back
mad
it
at me.
down.
I don't care. That was
All right, we need fuel. Let's
that was
pit
scary.
now.
What are we doing? Why are we sitting here? Why am I sitting here? That was weird. I didn't like that at all. That's going to be hugely costly for us.
You're clear of pit road.
There's no way we're going to catch the group. Well, good news that I had intended on speeding up stage number 2, or not stage, but fuel run number 2, because now I'm going to be just running empty. They're going to just, oh, that sucks. Dude, my draft or my pit stop was done at like 16 seconds. They made me just sit there for 6 more seconds. No penalty, no nothing. I don't know, what did I have a bunch of damage from going to the pit and getting hit in the back end or something? I have no idea. Maybe I can catch up or pick up with the group that's coming off of pit road right now.
Is going to be pitting.
I don't really know. Those cars are pitting.
Caution.
Okay, well, we're a lap down because of that. That's horrible. There's only 4 of us that are a lap down. We're not pitting, so maybe we'll be back on the lead lap with the wave around. I have no idea because the leader's already pit. I don't know. Please tell me I got a wave around. Nope. Last place. So now I need to get in front of Josh Berry and
Green flag, green flag.
hope for another caution. All right, well, we're speeding things up through the rest of stage number 2. We'll be back on the mic with you guys when we pit the next time, or if a caution comes out.
Stay on the bottom here.
We didn't get around Nemechek, who was right in front of us. We didn't get around Barry, who was also right in front of us. It looks like Kenseth might have had problems. I guess I could look. It said pitting car right in front of us. Nobody shows pitting. I guess it doesn't matter. We'll just clean them up. Forget about it. Looks like Jeremiah Graham is out of the race. Very unfortunate for the number 53 team. We'll see him in the next one. I'm sure they'll get that number 53 car set up and ready to go for the next race. No problem.
Got a car low now.
We need to get in front of Nemechek in the worst possible way.
Careful. Still there.
But we're heading back to the speed up, so now you know what we need. Oh my goodness. We got it just as we pass Nemechek. We get the free pass. That's huge. Looks like Sam Mayer fell all the way back. He had to pit. Also looks like we've got another car that is off. Or maybe it's just Nemechek being the lap down still. That's what it is. Of course, I was going to pit. There's no reason for me not to pit. Unfortunately, it wasn't enough. I'm going to have to pit again. But we're going to stay on the mic now because we're basically through that whole cycle. I should expect some cars to start pitting at... I pressed the wrong button when I was trying to do that. I should expect some cars to pit, I don't know. I'm going to say the next 5, maybe 10 laps. I don't know how many they saved on being under caution, but... Whoa, holy crap, what is going on here? Whoa, I could have slowed down, but why would I when all those cars were available for me to pass? That was crazy, though. It almost seemed like somebody wrecked, but nobody did. Just a huge slow-up. Big checkup. And this is why I didn't want to get off the gas at all when I got up behind Hill, was because, look at that. How fast they all just drive away. If I had gotten off the gas, I'd have lost any kind of momentum I had. Now I will a little bit, but it's different now. I realize Custer is there, but... it's just not going to do anything for me. He's got better equipment all over the place than us, but I'm not trying to block him. I need to stay in this draft more than I need to. Wow, we got another huge run there, but stalled out because we're in the corner. Daniel Hemrick comes flying up on the outside. Good for him. Huge run for that team. 3 wide is not the answer here. I mean, maybe we'll get lucky in the corner. As long as we don't leave an opening for... Well, we have no speed. Kenseth was able to just drive in front of us and get down. A lot of damage on the front end of that. Number 25 for Bryce Egan. Look at that. Oof. He must have been involved heavily in one of the earlier cautions. I got nothing. I have a lot of speed through the middle of the turn, but by the time we come off the exit, I'm already up on the back of Kenseth, and I can't turn around him because there's nowhere to go. We really just need to be in front of Smith at this point to get into our incentive money, which is where we are, so that's important. I feel like they're going to pit with about 16 to go. We're staying out. We're going to run it for as long as we can. Maybe. I don't know. See, the problem with that is this is a pure draft track, so we're going to stay out, but unless there's a caution, we're going to get passed by everybody in the draft probably at some point. Unless, when they catch up to us, we just blend in. We could do that. It's possible. Oh, never mind. Everyone's pitting. We're going to pit with them. Ah, that sucks. All that planning for nothing. Well, there we go. Everybody that's in the race is back on the lead lap. We're in 33rd after our pit stop. We got our work cut out for us to get back up there.
Green flag, green flag.
Oh, I wonder if Bryce Egan got that front end cleaned up. Yes, he did. Good for that team. That's why they're back here now, but I'm sure they can do some work and get up there. He was vying in the playoffs in the Truck Series for a championship. Couple real rough races for that team knocked him out last season. He's looking to put in some work in this first season to build up his team to make that type of a run next year again. You're not going to see that kind of stuff happening this season, but definitely next year I expect to see them pushing up in the front. I don't know what just happened there at all. I do not understand what just happened here. I'm just hoping that we get enough draft to pull back up to that group that just somehow, like, lightning quick. I was up against the car in front of me's bumper. I wasn't even paying attention to who it was, and now all of a sudden they're freaking a second in front of us. That never should have happened. I don't understand how that even happened. But I don't foresee me catching this group because we're doing 194 down the backstretch when we're in the draft. I mean, I guess the only thing I could do is I should let Nemechek go. He's probably got the better equipment, but I'm going to let Egan go and try to get in behind him. And see if that'll help us catch the group, because now we're 2 seconds back. I mean, come on now. Are we serious here? This is bad. He's gone. Okay, what broke? What broke on our car? Almost got to 192 there. Hopefully, in order to stay in the draft around the turn, I have to be farther down than them. That's why I keep touching the apron, because I'm trying everything I can to be in his draft. If I go up after his draft and don't get it, Nemechek's just going to drive around me. It's not good. We're still about 3 miles an hour off at our top speed. Yeah, I'm not even in his draft anymore. The draft I'm getting is from Nemechek, and it's not enough. He's not really pushing me anywhere. Okay. That's the worst thing that could have happened. Only one other thing had happened good for us right here, and that'd be another caution to give us an opportunity to somehow stay up in the pack. I am extraordinarily confused. We were in the draft. We were working with everyone. And then all of a sudden, we came off the corner and everyone just drove away. Like we weren't even... Like I didn't have my foot on the gas. It's so weird. Go ahead, Nemechek. Look at that. He shouldn't have that kind of speed when he had just backed off. All right, well, unless a caution comes out, we'll see you at the end of this one. All right, we have an opportunity to do something here. Sammy Smith out of the race, brought out the caution. Must have had a mechanical failure. Problem is, we're here in the back, so if we get any kind of a run, we can't come off the gas. We just got to try to drive around or drive through whoever we get into. Or because if they just drive away, we're screwed. Going into turn number 1. We get a decent run on the inside. And the inside is checking up or slowing up. Okay. Whoa. There it is. Huge checkup. Not sure what happened there, but it's not going to be good for us because now we're on the inside of nobody. We got to get to this turn so that we can kind of naturally blend in. Looks like we did it. Little bit. I know Josh Berry's right there, but I've explained it before. At this track, I can't really come off the gas that much, so we're going to see if we have any people that are upset with us after the race, but with 3 to go, we're going for a top 25. That's what we need. Big run. We got cars behind us and in front of us. Drop down. Oh, I couldn't move it fast enough. So we lose this momentum. Got to get right back up into it.
Stay low.
27th. I mean, we have an opportunity. We have an absolute opportunity. The problem is that we keep getting runs again at the wrong time, like we did last time.
Stay on the bottom here.
This is 26th place right here. 2 to go.
Stay on the bottom.
25th right now. Technically, that's where we are, but we have to clear the cars that we're racing against, and we are not doing that.
Stay low, stay low.
The only good thing that's going on is that what I just did may have guaranteed our good positioning. And that's,
Still there.
this is good. See about the runoff. Yeah, I didn't have,
Still there.
that time I didn't get that super run off the corner, so I was actually ready though. If we did get it, I was ready to drop down and take some spots, or at least one spot from Kenseth. No luck. No dice! We're here on the last lap of the race, sitting in 23rd. We had that crappy gap in the last run where we were just in rough shape overall. We did, of course, pit, which gave us fresh tires. I don't know how much that helps on at Daytona, but here we were.
Still there.
Going for 20th. Maybe even better. Maybe 19th. We got a huge run coming through 4. Smith goes up. See if I can grab the draft here and get around. No, we won't. I was going to say get around Kane before the line, but hey, going from sitting in 35th place with just a handful of laps, 8 or so laps left, and then ending up finishing in 19th is pretty stellar at the end of this race. I'm very happy about that. Top 5, your winner of the race, Jeffrey Earnhardt. Second place, Anthony Alfredo. Third comes in Justin Allgaier, then Ryan Truex, and then Brennan Poole. Michael Chavez takes the victory from the custom drivers, finishing in 6th. Speedy Jones in 8th. Gary Norton in 10th. Taylor Carpenter 13th. Schildhaus 14th. Lane comes in 17th. Kane comes in 18th. There we are, 19th. Smith behind us in 20th. Bethel 24th. Oliveira 25th. Malone 28th. Perez 29th. Cost 31st. Egan 33rd. And then Jeremiah Graham DNFing 32 laps down. Fastest lap of the race came to us. Almost got into the 45s. Not our fastest lap ever, but it was good. Jeffrey Earnhardt led the most laps with 20. Taylor Carpenter started 34th, finished 13th. And Josh Berry Tough Break started 6th, and he was in 34th at the end. All right, we didn't receive any nasty grams from anybody, and I went ahead and just checked, and we still have, well, with the new drivers, it's Cost that's upset with us, and Brennan Poole is annoyed. We'll get that squared away, racing around him cleanly going forward. That was carrying over from last season. Our next race in the next episode will be at Las Vegas Speedway, 100 laps, $176,000. We've got $341,000 in the bank after that race. So we made some really good money, and that's going to give us an opportunity to upgrade our trainers, our mechanics, and everybody to improve our car, make sure it's maxed out for what it can be, which right now is an 80 overall car. And I want to say once we're getting up into the 90s, like the low 90s, we'll change the difficulty up to legendary, because then we can compete in that area. Anyway, folks, though, that is going to do it for this episode. Excited to start the new season. Hope you are too. I'd like to take a moment to say thank you so very much for taking the time out of your day to watch this video. And until next time, and of course, as always, you take care.